You were in your office sitting behind your desk, but anyone could clearly tell that your mind was distracted somewhere else. You look lost in thoughts as if chaos is going on inside your head. You touched the two plane tickets that were laying on the desk. It was a gift from your mother-in-law. She already booked a honeymoon destination for both of you, and now you have to show it to your husband also. Jungkook, the man you have loved for a long time now. He was your secret crush, and now you both are married, but things are not how they're supposed to be. In fact, you feel like he's not happy with this marriage, as if he just tried to avoid every conversation about marriage. Things unexpectedly turned so complicated, and you are not even sure what he's feeling. You didn't even realize when the door unlocked and Jimin walked in. I knocked more than twice. Seems like you didn't hear. You came out of your thoughts, finally hearing his voice. I was just thinking something. Anyways, you don't have to knock. He chuckled softly before sitting on a chair in front of your desk. He noticed the tickets that you put inside the drawer. So, how's everything going on? I didn't expect you to come back to work so soon. You gave him a look of disbelief. You want me to leave the company and hand it over to you, huh? He laughed loudly while you joined in. You know I can't take that much burden, but I'm seeing you smiling openly after a long time. Marriage seems to stress you out. You didn't say anything and Jimin knew something was going on inside your head. Hey, is everything alright? You know that you can tell me, right? You looked at him. You and Jimin have been best friends for as long as you remember, and you have always shared your ups and downs with him. But sharing things about your married life, which just started, and you have no idea what's going on. It didn't feel right. You didn't want to jump into any conclusion just because you think that things are not going the way you wanted. Everything is fine, at least for now, but if anything happens, you'll be the first one to know, you said, forcing a smile. You came back home and today, surprisingly, Jungkook was home before you. You saw him in the living room standing near the glass windows, looking outside while a cigarette pressed between his fingers. You noticed that whenever he's stressed or distracted, he smokes. You dropped the bag and walked near him. He already saw your reflection in the window but didn't move. It's good to see you home early today. Let's have dinner together. He slightly turned towards you and don't know why you could not read his expression this time. Is everything alright? He nodded. Yes. Do you want help in cooking? You shook your head, feeling a little relieved that he sounded normal. You smiled. I'll take care of that. You walked towards your room to change before the dinner. Jungkook's eyes were heavy. There was something in his mind that he was conflicting with and just can't choose what's right and wrong. The silence between both of you were more than it should be. Jungkook was avoiding looking at you and you knew something was not right, even though you were not sure if this was the right time, but you took out the tickets from your bag and put them on the table. It caught Jungkook's attention as he looked at you. What are these? You try to maintain a slight smile. Honeymoon tickets, a gift from your mother, and she wants me to show you this. Are you excited? Because I am, since the place is my favorite. Jungkook's heart clenched as the guilt overpowered him even more. Looking at your smiling face and excitement, he was feeling like he's the meanest man ever, but he wanted to clear things. What happened? Are you not excited? You asked him even though your heart was beating so fast after you saw no reaction but tension on his face. He took a deep breath before looking at you. Ryan, I want to tell you something. Your heart dropped and you knew things might change from here. For 2 months you barely think of anything good. This marriage already seemed like a failed attempt and you regret for saying yes to this arranged marriage. Because the amount of times your heart has broken, you don't think it could get fixed. Is this something related to our marriage? Because let me just hold myself. Jungkook bit his lower lip and looked down. Guilt was all over his face. I've been doing a lot of thinking lately about us, about this marriage, and I've realized that this isn't where my heart is. This isn't the happiness I was looking for. Your breath caught in your throat and you felt a cold wave of shock wash over you. What does that mean? Are you saying that you want out? You barely managed to say those words because your heart literally shattered into pieces and you wish Jungkook could hear that sound to know what he did. He looked down at his hands, struggling to find the right words. I never wanted to hurt you. You are an incredible person, and anyone would be lucky to have you in their life, but I don't think I can give you what you deserve. I don't think I'm the right person. But we have only been married for 2 months. How can you be so sure? We haven't even given it a real chance. Your voice cracked in the middle as you fired back your tears. His eyes were filled with regret as he looked up at you. I know it seems sudden, but I've been feeling this way for a while. I thought maybe it was just nerves or that it would pass, but it hasn't. I can't keep pretending that everything is okay when it's not. Your hands tremble as you try to make sense of his words. So what now? You just want to end it? Walk away from everything we have built? He gulped, feeling like a sinister in front of you. I want you to be with someone who looks at you and feels complete. Someone who can love you the way you deserve to be loved. And I'm realizing that I'm not that person. I'm sorry. Tears spilled down your cheeks as you clutched the tickets in your hand, feeling like your world is crumbling around you. I never expected this, Jungkook. I thought we were in this together. I wish things were different. I wish I could be the person you need me to be. But I can't keep lying to myself or to you. You deserve so much more than what I can give you. Your heart shattered and you can barely find the strength to speak. I loved you, Jungkook. I thought you loved me too. He looked at you, there was pain in his eyes, and only he knew how much courage he needed to tell you this. I do care about you, but love isn't enough if it's not real happiness, and that's what you deserve, real happiness. There was a short pause for some time before you spoke. So you want divorce? He lowered his eyes. I think that would be the best for both of us since we have just started our life. I think we both deserve to find our own happiness and not something that is forced on us. He has no idea how his words were hitting you like a sharp knife. For you, it was not an arranged marriage. You already loved him, but maybe your love was only one-sided. I never thought you'll give up so soon. He lowered his head. I'm sorry. I really am. After that day, none of you spoke a word to each other for a few days. You still haven't decided whether you'll divorce him or not because it was not easy for you considering the fact that you have been loved him for such a long time. What's happening here? I heard that your recent 2 deals were attended by a secretary. Is everything alright? Jimin walked in the balcony where you were standing back facing him, leaning against the railing, but it was unusual that you didn't turn to him even after hearing his voice. Maybe you have taken my words seriously and decided to take a break, huh? Well, that's good as well. Even though he was teasing you, he knew something was off. When he came near you and saw a paper in your hands and you have taken off your ring as well, he knew this was serious. Wyan, a slow sob left your mouth even though you were trying not to cry in front of him. You turned your face to the other side, but he was already concerned. Wyan, look at me. Are you crying? You didn't look, so he grabbed your shoulder gently and made you look at him, and his heart clenched when he saw your tear-streaked face. Why are you crying, Wyan? Please tell me. You lowered your head and finally burst into tears. He wants to end everything, Jimin. Jungkook? You nodded and looked at him. Yes, this marriage is suffocating him. He doesn't want to continue it, he said. He said I'm not his happiness. Jimin knew how much it must have broken you and he hated that he can't fix it. He pulled you into his embrace as you cried. He held you close, caressing your hair, crying, You would be the last thing he wanted to see in the world. Since the beginning, he was in love with you, but he knew you don't feel the same, so he kept his feelings hidden. He never made you feel uncomfortable, but if he knew that the guy you were in love with leave you heartbroken, he might have never let you marry him. He wants divorce. He said that he was pretending all this time, but can't anymore. Can you believe that, Jimin? He said he wants me to be with someone who looks at me and feels complete. Someone who can love me the way I deserve to be loved. But what about my feelings? He made me happy then. Why did he say that he doesn't think he's that person? It's okay, Ryan. I'll talk to him, don't worry. You pulled back and shook your head. No, Jimin, there's no need. I've already signed the divorce papers. I don't think I would ever be able to get back after hearing all that. If I'm not his happiness, I won't force him. Jimin was feeling so helpless seeing you broken state. But he knew he can't erase this pain. It was not in his hands. He took a step closer and wiped your tears. Just remember, sometimes things happen for the better. He looked away, turning to face the sky. I don't know what's good in this, but I don't think I would ever be able to forget him. Jungkook was restless for so many days. You don't come back home after your last conversation, and somewhere he was feeling that something was not right. He thought he would feel a little better after telling you what's in his heart, but now things turned completely opposite. For some reason he was scared. He doesn't know why it was happening. Is this just the guilt inside me, or am I really doing something I would end up regretting it? He gulped down the drink that left in his glass. He has been living on drinks to keep himself not overthink about the decision that he made, and he just passed out. The next morning, Jungkook walked into his living room. He slept more than he usually does, but his feet stopped in the middle when he saw you. His heart skipped a beat. There was a smile on your face, a painful smile that he could clearly tell that you were forcing. Your eyes were slightly red, but you were trying your best to act normal. You looked at him. Good morning. Jungkook felt a strange pain inside, as if he's about to lose something he would definitely regret. He was not sure what he was doing, what does he even want, but one thing was clear, he would never find the happiness he was looking for after losing you. He walked near you. Good morning. He noticed that you have prepared breakfast. I thought to cook something for you for the last time. He looked at you as he felt so strange hearing the word last time. You didn't have to do that, and you were not home from last 4 days. There was a short pause before you spoke, coming near him. I needed some time alone. I'm sorry I didn't inform you. Jungkook was trying his best to look at you, but he was not able to face you, to look into your eyes after everything he did or said. You extended the divorce papers towards him while he looked at you surprised. I've signed them. Now you are free from pretending. I hope you will find your happiness that you're looking for. His heart was beating so fast, out of fear or nervousness, he was not sure. He took the papers and saw your signature. You took off the wedding ring and gave it to him. I know we both have our different opinions on this marriage, but unknowingly you have given me a lot of happiness, Jungkook. For you, I might not be the one who gave you happiness, but to me, you have been a source of happiness for a long time. Thank you for everything, and don't worry about our parents. I have told them everything. I hope you will find your happiness. Goodbye, Jungkook. You were trying to hide your tears behind that forced smile, but it was hard, so you just wanted to leave as soon as possible. You turned around and was about to leave, but Jungkook called your name. Ryan. You stopped but didn't turn back. He came behind you. I'm sorry, I hope you'll be able to forgive me, and you can take your part in everything this house and He paused when you let out a chuckle in disbelief. I was never so dependent to claim anything materialistic, Jungkook. He looked down. I'm sorry. I hope you'll forgive me. You didn't say and walked away because you knew you can't stay one more second without breaking down. As you walked away, Jungkook knew he may never be able to find the happiness he thought he was looking for. You have made a place in his heart that left empty now, and he knew it was too late. He looked at the divorce papers and the wedding ring in his palm. I'm sorry. I hope I won't regret this. He closed his hands into fists, holding the ring tightly. Jungkook was in his office, but since that day, his mind was in so much chaos. After he walked away from his life, he realized that the happiness he was chasing, it was nothing in front of the guilt he left inside him. He knew no matter what, now he'll never be happy like he thought. Suddenly, he heard a knock on the door. Come in. The door opened and Jimin walked in. Jungkook was surprised. Jimin came near. He sat up straight, trying to compose himself. Jimin, what brings you here? Jimin stopped in front of his desk. His eyes were fixed on him. I couldn't stay quiet any longer. We need to talk. Jungkook sighed, gesturing for Jimin to sit, but Jimin remained standing. I know what this is about, and I'm not sure there's anything left to talk. You are wrong, Jungkook. There's plenty to say. You let go of someone who loved you more than anything. Do you even realize what you have lost? Jungkook's heart tightened at Jimin's words, but he kept the face stoic. I know I hurt her. I didn't want to, but I wasn't sure. I didn't want to keep lying. Jimin chuckled, a sarcastic and mocking chuckle. You didn't lie to her, you're lying to yourself. I'm sure you have already regretting your decision, and that's obvious. You didn't even give your marriage a chance. You threw it all away because you were chasing some ideas of happiness that doesn't even exist. Jungkook looked at him. Somewhere he also knew that it was true. After you left, he doesn't know what happiness he thought he was trying to get. I'm not here because I feel bad for you. I don't care. All I care is you left her heartbroken. It's hard to see her that way. I don't get what exactly you were chasing. Was there someone else? Another woman? Jungkook's eyes snapped back to Jimin. No, there was no one else. It was never about that. I wasn't sure if this marriage was right for me. Jimin shook his head in disbelief. His tone was laced with disappointment. You weren't sure, Jungkook. Marriage aren't built on certainty from day one. They take time, effort, and commitment. You should have given it a chance, talked to her, worked things out together. Instead, you made a rash decision, and now you have lost her. Jungkook's shoulders slumped. I know I messed up. I thought I was doing the right thing, but all I feel now is this emptiness, like nothing matters anymore. Jimin stepped closer to him, his voice carrying both sympathy and a stern warning. That emptiness, that's the guilt of losing someone who genuinely cared for you, someone who was willing to fight for you even when you weren't sure. And now you'll have to live with that. Maybe you'll never get her back. Maybe you'll never find that happiness you thought you wanted. Jungkook looked at him and he realized the reality of his decision, whether he accepted or not, but Jimin was spitting facts. Do you think there's any way to make things right? Jimin looked at him with a mix of pity and frustration. That's not for me to say, but if you truly cared about her, you'd have never let it get to that point. It's too late for what ifs. Now you are going to have to live with the consequences of your choice. And maybe she'll move on without you. Jungkook looked down. The ring was still in his finger, but now he completely got sure that without you, he also lost the happiness that he thought he was chasing. I didn't realize what I had until it was too late. That's the thing about life, Jungkook. Sometimes you don't realize what you have until it's gone. I just hope for your sake that you find a way to live with that decision, because whether you like it or not, this is your reality now. With that, he turned around and left, leaving Jungkook alone with his thoughts, the emptiness inside him growing with each passing second. He left with nothing but regrets, which he was already afraid of. You came for an evening walk, but then you found a quiet space where you thought you could clear your mind to feel relaxed, but still your mind was chaotic. It's been a week and you accepted completely that you and Jungkook are not together and can never be, but it was still hard to live with that reality. Suddenly you saw a bottle of water extended towards you. Looking up, you saw Jimin standing while smiling at you. You kept looking at him for a few seconds, making him chuckle in shyness. Am I that handsome that you can't take your eyes off me? You slightly rolled your eyes. I'm just wondering how you always appear out of nowhere. He chuckled, sitting beside you while you drank the water. Very easy. Whenever I feel like you need me, I just come. I don't think I needed you. I needed peace, but guess what? I won't get it because you are here. This made him laugh, and he noticed that a faint smile appeared on your face. It aches his heart that how a girl who used to laugh so much is now barely smiling. You still think about him, don't you? You looked at him, and there was silence for some time before you looked in front of you and took a deep breath. I do, and I also think whether he has found that happiness or not. But in no way I think about going back to him. Because I know that's not possible, and even if it is, I don't think I will want to. Jimin reached out and took your hand in his, making you look at him. Ryan, sometimes we fall in love with someone who might not be good for us, or the one for us. Still, we think about that. We wish they somehow like us back. But who comes in and go from our lives, it's not in our control. You should move on now. There's someone who wants to see you happy, whose happiness lies in you. Your heart dropped when you realized where he was pointing. Jimin, that's true, Ryan. I didn't want it to come in the middle of your happiness, but after seeing you like this, I can't stay away from telling you my feelings. I never expressed them because I fear this will affect our friendship, and don't think I'm using this opportunity. I genuinely love you since the day I've seen you. You swallowed. Jimin, I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything right now, Ryan. I'm not forcing you, nor I'm telling you to accept this. I just wanted to tell you my feelings, and I respect your decision, and I will continue being your supporter till my last breath. Tear dropped from your eyes. I don't know if I ever be able to move on, but the one person I would never want away from my life is you, Jimin. Thank you for being with me in my every ups and downs. He smiled and squeezed your hand gently.